There's so much water being poured into this fire. There's just puddles everywhere. We were backing into this police tape earlier to let a police officer go by, and it was wet because of just how much water they are working with. You walk with me. They've actually just added more police tape over here. I want to show you what's going on over here. Look around. We still have people working on the electrical box. They're removing glass. If we pan over here, you can see a little bit inside. In just a moment, you're going to see a CAL FIRE truck move in behind me. They go up this hill over there. There's one area that they've really worked on containing overnight. We'll talk about that coming up at 5 o'clock, but for now you can see it's still a very active scene as this fire is still growing. As per the last update, you see we do have more crews here like this one behind me going up with more guys up there to help fight the fire. Of course, Sydney, as we mentioned, this is Avenue 12 in Madera. You can see cars moving behind me right now trying to get around this massive crime scene. We just got an update from the sheriff telling us that there will be another press conference to come in about 30 minutes from now at 5:30. We do not know what those updates will be, but they will be here on the scene, and we will of course get you information there. But for right now, I want to show you what we're seeing right now. This is the command center behind us. They're done filling them up. They take them over here to this truck. You can see right now they're taking it away to the other side of the river. This road on Elwood is now open. People have been moving through. This is a change in just the past hour or so. But if you look over here, this is the house that those fire crews did have to rescue the people from. If you get off the Jensen exit from the 41, there's a neighborhood right over here. That is where we are. And there's two things I want to show you real quick. So if we pan over here, this house, we've been seeing a lot of detectives move through. You can kind of see them behind that truck. They've been over here. Some officers, you see one right there in the tie. I don't know what they're doing over there, but they're investigating that area. One other spot I want to show you just how wide the scene is. We have 1, 2, 3 different sets of police tape blocking off a few different streets. We're in the intersection of Caldwell and Acres, and the people are lining the streets saluting the car as it goes by. We are seeing people take off their hats. We are seeing people with their flags raised, just standing quietly. I mean, it's emotional to watch this, just knowing what we just listened to in that funeral service today.
And Steve Ramos also, and Tino Flores from Tulare.
Amazing, 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 amazing. Come this way. I want to show you a few more things we have over here. Everyone's really spirited right now. There we go. Tell me your name. Who are you waiting for?
Andrea Ramos, waiting for my father-in-law, Jesse Ramos.
Where are you from?
Tulare.
Okay, so you're with your friend there. Okay, you brought a big crowd. You brought a big crowd. All right, tell me your name, ma'am. Who are you waiting for? Casey. The GOP is a little bit closer, 205 to Democrats 190. So some of the races here locally we're focusing on. The race for District 21 right now, neck and neck. This is the current map. So it goes from Bakersfield up to Hanford. Does not really go north of Hanford, but this map, if it gets approved by voters, you can see it encompasses a lot of western Fresno County, and it has a different shape to it. It's really stark side by side. I know we cut into the middle of the police chief giving updates, but we're in communication with Rhett. We asked him about what injuries made him come to the hospital in the first place. He is saying that he was tased 4 times. That was the first altercation that we heard about at that Northwest Policing District, bringing them to the hospital. We have been listening into the meeting between Russian President Vladimir Putin and, of course, President Donald Trump. We've been learning a little bit about what was going on before the meeting. We know that they met for at least 3 hours. Lots of clouds out there, too. Chief Meteorologist Lauren Wallace has our first look at your pinpoint weather forecast, and she's tracking these sprinkles. CBS47's Ben Morris takes us to Sequoia and Kings Canyon National Parks to show you the impact on the public. With a look at what we can expect on the valley floor and in the mountains, let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Lauren Wallace.
Chips.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Katherine Phillips in for Brian Dorman. The Trump administration is also threatening mass firings as government offices are shuttered. Republicans want to extend funding at current levels, but Democrats are holding out for concessions on health care. This is the fair's first year to not have the famous horse racing, but organizers tell us they've replaced it with a lot of other fun events. So we're going to an expert, CBS47's Brianna Bias. She's an expert at fun and doing the news here. She's live at the fair. Brianna, what is going on now? You've been there for about an hour or so since it's been open. Brianna, I mean, what a person to tell to be quiet, other than me around the sleeping babies. I understand.
Yes,
I was
so
excited.
cute.
The fireworks that you see behind me, they're just dangerous. They are unpredictable, and they're illegal for a reason. And new at 5, Fresno Fire and police just uncovered 13,000 pounds of them. Take a look. Investigators say all of this is worth more than $10,000. The man behind it has been arrested. Not only is he facing felony charges, but also more than a $2,000 citation.
And happening now, we have a live look outside. Clouds are overhead as parts of the valley are seeing some showers. For people in the mountains, we check in with Rhett Rodriguez as he tracks a possible thunderstorm. Rhett, what do we know at this point? And 5 candidates are in the thick of a competitive primary for California's 21st congressional district. The district encompasses much of the city of Fresno and parts of Tulare County. Longtime incumbent Congressman Jim Costa has represented the valley in Congress since 2005. But now some new names are on the ballot. I sat down with Eric Garcia, Kyle Kirkland, Lorenzo Rios, Lauren Hubbard, and of course, Congressman Costa about the race. We're on your side tonight. We all think our bills are too high, but one Reason City man, he might just be right. He got a water bill for over $1,500, and a year later, he's still trying to figure out what happened. The water district handling his bill says their meters are correct.
Most people expect a nice candle or something new for the kitchen as a housewarming gift. But when Jeff Wood moved to Reason City home last year, he got a water bill for $1,591.62.
Well, I kind of felt like welcome to the neighborhood.
He didn't think it could be real and figured it was a misunderstanding. He had just gotten the keys to the home in March of 2025 and figured the bill he got dated May 9th had to be wrong. He says his family didn't officially move in until June.
I didn't use the water. I was not here.
The bill alleges his family used 208,000 gallons of water in just one billing period. It states he used over 191,000 of those gallons in just 2 weeks, even using as much as 14,000 gallons of water a day. He called Fresno County Public Works to let them know something was wrong.
I attempted to do that and discovered the water department just dug their heels in and wouldn't budge an inch. I mean, they haven't helped me at all.
He says despite multiple attempts to reach out and plead his case, he got rejection letter after rejection letter. And now of March of 2026, he's still dealing with the back and forth. The levels are normal now, but he's still stuck with the bill. Just last month, he got a shutoff notice, forcing him to get on a payment plan to keep the water in his home flowing. One of those letters he got says the county replaced the meter on March 12th. And Wood says for the next 2 weeks, the meter ran rampant.
The meter is a very straightforward piece of equipment. It reads the water that goes through it.
Chris Bump with Fresno County Public Works says they've looked at the case and their equipment is working fine. He admits it's not typical for a family to use that much water, but that it's possible. And one of the letters the county sent to Wood, they claim the week before the meter was replaced, the old meter showed over 8,000 gallons of water flowed through between March 5th and March 12th.
We can't subsidize that or provide a discount because what happens, these are all small systems. And so if you give a credit to one person, it's at the expense of all the remaining customers of the system.
Now, Jeff says the county told him that this water tank holds 192,000 gallons of water, essentially meaning he used every last drop in just 2 weeks. We reached out to Lee's Plumbing, Heating and Air to see what they thought as they deal with leaks and water issues all the time. Regional Manager Fernando Ibarra says any internal leak would have shown through the floors by now. He says other scenarios just seem unlikely.
Your normal sized pools in your backyard, you'd probably be able to fill about 10 of them. That's that much water. It's a lot of water. Just off the top of my head, you probably have to flush your toilet like 500,000 times to be able to use that amount of water.
He says something as simple as a running toilet could cost you an extra $50 to $60 per month. While costly, it's still not enough to rack up a bill as high as Wood's.
Do you think that, they could be telling the truth that they didn't use this much water?
Absolutely, especially if it was only for a 1 month period and then it stopped. It's really, really hard. Leaks don't fix themselves.
Wood's house doesn't have a pool or much landscaping. He says his house doesn't show any signs of water damage, leaving him at a loss over what could have caused this. Why the water district won't help.
I say, what about logic? What about impossibility? What about this is a ludicrous claim that cannot be reproduced in any common sense scenario, and yet it's not in the policy.
So Wood now uses the Eye on Water app. You can see it in the screen behind me to track his water usage every day. And it's something that Public Works actually recommends. He is also taking this issue to small claims court so he can try to get the money he's paying to the water district back, as he is adamant he never used it.
Kat, you're hearing, I'm understanding, from an eyewitness who saw all of this unfold.
Yeah, we are. He was home as it happened. He was looking out his window right now. I want to show you the scene because it's actually changed dramatically since we come on at 4 o'clock. Look now, everything is boarded up and there's a street sweeper right on the street cleaning up all of the debris that happened from that hours-long standoff. That boarding coming up in just the past hour or so from when we were here at 4 o'clock on Eyewitness News. That neighbor who you will hear from in this story says he is having a hard time processing just how traumatic it all was. Sheriff Boudreaux also spoke with us tonight. He says Hoppert was a crucial member of the department and his deputies are grieving.
I saw the officer that passed away come up, and he come up a hero, man. He come up ready to take care of business. He wasn't afraid to be in the front line, nothing like that.
John Alvarado was in his home office Thursday morning when he quickly noticed something wasn't right.
All of a sudden I heard like a pop, and I thought, to me it sounded like a propane tank blew.
However, deputies say it was his neighbor, David Morales, firing shots at law enforcement who were trying to serve him an eviction notice. Before Alvarado could process what was happening, he saw Tulare County Detective Randy Hoppert fall to the ground.
I saw the whole thing, and so that it's devastating me to the point because I saw the guy come up. I saw him. It was my turn to go in.
SWAT teams evacuated him, but his home security cameras kept rolling, showing what happened after he left. Armored vehicles drove over his lawn, and officers ran through his backyard. Alvarado says they weren't friends with Morales, and years ago they argued after telling him to stop talking to their kids. He says in January, neighbors called police after an argument with Morales.
I see him yelling, and he throws a can of something.
Meanwhile, Tulare County Sheriff Mike Boudreaux says they are mourning Detective Randy Hoppert. He was a critical member of their fugitive apprehension team.
Not one piece is any more important than the other, but what I can say is that when the piece is missing, you recognize it significantly.
He's devastated for Hoppert's wife, who's 4 months pregnant with their baby. He wants the community to keep his name alive.
I want him to remember him as a man who was serving in the best way that he knew how, not only on duty but off duty as well.
Now, this cleanup is expected to be wrapping up pretty soon. They just told us the street sweeper will be done in just a few minutes or so. There was really a lot of activity in this neighborhood today. We were here when we saw the Bearcat that was the Kern County Sheriff's Officer Bearcat that ran over Morales. We saw that get taken away today, put on a tow truck. So neighbors are starting to feel a little bit more back to normal. Another note from the sheriff that he says is really important is that he says there are criminals out there that are taking advantage of the situation and putting forward fake, fraudulent scam GoFundMe links in Hoppert's name, saying that the money will go to the family. He says at this point, all of that, when there is a time to help from the community to the family, that will come directly from the sheriff's office. In the meantime, do not give to any of those fraudulent links. That is the message from Sheriff Mike Boudreaux. We're live tonight in Porterville. Katherine Phillips,
CBS 47 is on your side tonight with a warning about door-to-door sales tactics. A Clovis woman says she was pressured into buying a pest control service when door-to-door salespeople came knocking, but she didn't know exactly what she was signing up for, or that one door knock could jeopardize her credit. It all started with a knock on the door.
Really exuberant, energetic young guys came to the door. Wanting to sell me pest control service.
Carol Ross had just moved into her new home in Clovis and wasn't sure if pest control was in her budget or if she even needed what they were selling. But once the Brooks pest control salesman lowered the price to $49, Carol gave in.
So he handed me his phone, blew up the part where it was to sign it, and I signed it, and that was that.
She says they treated the house once in June and then never again.
So after they came the first time, I didn't really think too much more about it. And until in December, I started getting threatening notices that my account was past due and they were going to turn me over to collections.
When she signed the salesman's phone, she thought it was for one treatment.
I didn't know any of this.
She had no idea it was a year-long contract.
Candidly, it didn't even occur to me. He didn't show me a contract. He showed me a space for me to sign and told me specifically that I was signing to get the appointment scheduled.
Carol says the company was billing her every month for a service she wasn't getting. She paid for the first appointment and then tried to cancel.
I called customer service and explained the situation, and he said, well, I'm sorry, you signed a one-year contract, and if you want to cancel your contract, it's going to be $275, and you owe us $49 a month since June.
After that, it was weeks of back and forth with her trying to negotiate the charges and get in touch with a manager. It was then when she posted on Facebook about what happened. And that's when we got involved. I reached out to the company multiple times trying to get in touch with a supervisor for a supervisor never called me back, but they did send me an email saying they believed there was some sort of miscommunication during the sign-up process and they wanted to make it right. They asked me along the customer's contact information, so I gave them Carol Dean's email and phone number.
And they sent me an email to let me know that they canceled the contract, and they sent me a refund.
After Carol Dean got her money back and got out of the contract, we reached back out to Brooks Pest Control to ask what went wrong. They sent us this statement saying, in part, Brooks Pest Control maintains a structured and closely supervised sales process. Our representatives receive formal training on service details, pricing, contract terms, and cancellation policies. And key agreement terms are reviewed with each new customer prior to enrollment. In this instance, once the concern was brought to our attention, we promptly reviewed the matter and worked directly with the customer to resolve it. While things ended well for Carol Dean, Joe Ducey with the Better Business Bureau says it's best to prevent these situations before they happen. He says just turn away door-to-door salespeople and never sign anything without reading it in full.
If someone comes to your door, do not let them in and do not buy on the spot, all right? Talk to them through the window and say, please leave some information for me. You want to know more about that business than they know about you, right?
Ducey says look up online reviews for any company you do business with. And when in doubt, ask a neighbor who they'd recommend.
If you're pressured to do something, it usually turns out bad. Take your time, think about it, look around.
And Carol Dean says she's taking those tips to heart.
Thank you to Katherine and the whole team at the news station. We're really excited to say that Brooks did the right thing.
And another tip that I learned while reporting on this story, under California's Home Solicitation Sales Act, most door-to-door sales for home services can be canceled within 3 days, even if you sign a contract. The law only applies for contracts not signed at a business, and if the home service is over $25. And under the law, seniors get 5 days to cancel.